welcome to another episode of Legacy Speaks. Today we're going to touch on a topic that definitely impacts a number of us, right? And we're so constantly consumed with the idea of how can we achieve a balanced life. And we look at people like Oprah, Beyonce, and Gary Vee, and we're like, man, they have the same 24 hours as us. How are they able to accomplish all those great, amazing things? And I'm just sitting here like, meh. Well, first off, they have amazing teams, but secondly, they have learned to be able to navigate through this concept of work-life harmony rather than trying to achieve work-life balance. So we're going to talk about that, but before we jump right in, I need you to hit that subscription button below. That way you can stay up to date on newly released content on a regular basis. So let's dive right in. So when I think of the concept of balance, I immediately think of a scale, right? In order for a scale to be able to be balanced on both sides, there needs to be the same amount of weight on either plate, correct? And that's how balance actually is. It is this concept of equal, the assumption of equal, which really is unrealistic when you think about it. We have all of these different parts of ourselves, all of these different life roles, all of these activities that we are engaged in. But sit back and actually think about it. Can you literally give equal portions of yourself in those various areas? Now, if you can, I mean, that is amazing. You know, I definitely commend you. But the average person cannot give of themselves equal parts to every single thing that they have their hand in. The desire for balance creates these negative emotions like guilt and disappointment, especially when we're not able to live up to those unrealistic expectations and standards that we place on ourselves. It's very, very crucial and very critical to the way that we view ourselves as productive members of society. Taking it even further, because I'm really big on visualizations and really big on examples. When I think of balance, I also think of spinning plates on these wooden sticks, right? And you would typically see this at either a circus or a fair of some sort. And the plates are spinning, but in order for the plates to continue to spin, there has to be somebody that goes back and forth, applying the same amount of effort, same amount of inertia, same amount of attention to each and every plate. Now, imagine if the person is on plate number 2 and plate number 6 is about to fall. That person has to run all the way over there and sit up there and try to get the plate to go. Now, imagine on his way to plate number 6, he trips. Plate number 6 falls. Him tripping caused plate number 4 to fall as well, right? And he's looking like, dang, I messed up. Why did I do this? In the midst of him mourning the loss of plate number 4, plate number 1 falls as well, and it becomes this chain effect. I say all of this to say that trying to achieve balance may not be the best route to go. And that's why I lean more towards work-life harmony, because when we think of harmony, we are trying to find ways to allow all of these different aspects and versions of ourselves to interconnect, to create something beautiful, right? When you think of an orchestra, you have the guitarist, you have the clarinet, you have the strings, you have the brass, you have all of these beautiful different instruments in their own way, in their own right. But they all create this amazing sound that literally just flows together. Work-life harmony is more of a holistic approach that I truly appreciate, and it's rooted in wellness counseling, which is something that I really absolutely love. Absolutely love it. I teach it to my clients all the time, and it's grounded in this study that was created by Myers, Sweeney, and Whitmore back in 2000. And what it pretty much shows is that there are 8 dimensions of wellness, whether it's our emotional wellness, our physical wellness, social wellness, our spiritual wellness, occupational, financial, environmental, and intellectual. These are 8 domains that we operate in on a day-to-day basis, or just across our lifespan altogether, right? Each area speaks to all of our needs, all of our desires, all of our goals, everything that we want as a human being. Like, for example, our social wellness, it talks about our relationships, the quality of our relationships, how we form relationships, what boundaries are set up, you know, when it comes to our financial wellness, what is our relationship like with money? How are we budgeting? You know, how are we spending? How do we view the dollar? Or even going further with our intellectual wellness, what new ideas do we appreciate? How open are we to new ideas? What books and material and resources are we consistently feeding ourselves? What are some things that we can actually take to transition into wisdom that's applicable to our lives, right? And so those are just examples of how some of these domains look like and manifest in our life. Now, with work-life harmony, it causes us to sit back and explore how we can develop some intersectionality between each and every one of these 8 domains in our lives. Even further, it challenges us to see how each area impacts the other, right? So when we think of harmony, we think of a circle, and actually when you look at the model, it is in a circular form. But it also shows that they are all interconnected. One is not separated from the other. And when you think about it, heck, it's pretty much true. The way we look at our finances, if we overspend, sometimes that will cause me to feel emotionally down. I kind of beat myself up like, dang girl, you don't know how to budget correctly, or it'll create some level of anxiety. And then from there, from an occupational perspective, it's like, dang, you know, I gotta work extra hours so I could make up for this, you know. And in turn, if I end up working overtime, that influences or impacts the way I'm able to spend time with my friends for my social domain area, right? And then even then, it's just like, wow, you know, just overall, it shows you how each and every one of these domains will impact the other and vice versa. Another thing that I appreciate about work-life harmony is the power of choice. It not only strengthens our decision-making skills, but it also encourages us and empowers us to prioritize. That way we're not feeling overwhelmed on our overall task and our goals. When trying to achieve balance, I find that we operated in a mindset of rigidity, like everything has to be operating in silos, you know, like me as a counselor is separate from me as a friend. Me as a friend is separated from me as a sister. Me as a sister is separated from me as a partner. And that doesn't really jive together. With work-life harmony, it shows how I can literally prioritize all of these different life roles and the responsibilities that come with it all together. This in turn helps me to avoid burnout, because if I'm operating from a space of intersectionality, this allows me to see how I can easily move in between each and every life role from a free perspective. It also causes me to look at things as like not being an emergency. Not everything needs immediate action, and not everything is a necessity. And it gives me the grace and the self-compassion to be able to tackle these things in the right timing. Just to review really quickly, when we're trying to achieve some level of balance, that means that we're trying to find ways to be equal across the board. It causes these feelings of guilt and negativity because we're creating these unrealistic expectations of ourselves. Now on the flip side, when we are aiming for a sense of harmony, we're looking at the 8 dimensions of wellness and seeing how all of these parts can work together. How can they create something beautiful? That way we are not feeling pressured to perform. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Legacy Speaks. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and definitely stay connected via Legacy SBKS on everything. Hit the comment section below and let me know what work-life harmony looks like for you. Once again, thank you guys so much. Peace.